Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire, right-wing extremists extraordinaire, enemies of the state, enemies of the deep state, enemies of the deep underground military complex, enemies of the New World Order and the Satanic Cabal. That's right. I'm the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, and I've got a perspective on things.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest moment of your life. You get to experience the shock and awe of a forest's completely unique ecosystem 630 feet below the ground. That is the strong one found in China. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited to be here. I'm a little pissed off because Dusty is eating pizza in front of my face before the show, so I've got a little extra angst in the tank, if you know what I mean, and I'm turning green with not envy, but pissed off. And I'll talk about that in a second. Give it up for, well, first of all, I'm the strong one, the people's champ, the people's choice, the one, the only, the Iron King himself. And I'm here to extract judgment, and I have a perspective on things.
That's right. That's right. The kick-ass Duke is in the house. That's right. The producer, the one, the only, the Dusty. I am sitting right here to the right hand of these kings, and I have a perspective on things. And the first perspective is I'm tired of the destruction behind me. I do not want that kind of destruction. I don't.
No. You're on location where in Biden's America.
Okay, that place.
Yeah.
That place. Yeah.
We're in the Rube Empire. You're on location in Biden's America.
So this right here must be the Psylocke factory, right?
Yep.
And then this one over here is the food factory. All 25 food factories that have burned down. I think it's now 28 as of yesterday.
Yeah. There was one yesterday.
There's another one burned down.
Yeah.
So 28 as of yesterday. We're batting 1,000, guys. Batting 1,000. Good job, Biden. Keep burning down those food factories, and
What's the under-over that we're 15 years away from Soylent Green as people? What's the under-over? What do we got on this? Soylent Green as people! When's that start?
What's Soylent?
Oh, people? Baby, you got to look that movie up. That is
Soylent Green?
Charleston Heston movie. It's from the 70s. Dystopian. Tell me
people. Soylent Green is people.
He's
that one.
He's a reporter in dystopian America, and essentially all the food's gone. So the government comes up with this amazing new product that's called Soylent Green, and it takes care of everybody. But you know what's funny is there's no more homeless. They're magically all gone. So essentially the government has solved the hunger problem and the homeless problem all at the same time. But subsequently, our boy Charleston Heston notices that all the old people from the old folks' homes are starting to disappear. It's not weird. And then he figures it out. It's like, oh, they're just killing us and, chopping us up for parts and feeding us to each other. Tim saw research. Yeah. But anyways, I would never talk about that. That would never happen in America. Stem cells. But anyways, that would never, ever happen. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
No, we're against murder. You should know that. I mean, come on. We don't just blatantly kill people just because they're inconvenient.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw the congressional hearing on abortion, but the abortion experts would rather you leave those decisions up to the mother, whether they're 10, 2,
it's
or
always her choice.
8 inches from birth. Huh?
Have you seen that clip of the person interviewing this black lady, and she's
yes.
It's always her choice.
Always her choice.
Always her choice. Even if you're like at 2 years old, it's always her choice.
Yep.
It's like, you're a maniac. You're a psychotic, but you won't say yes but you're I mean, you won't say yes, and you think that just repeating it's always her choice, like wipes that away. But you are equivalently saying yes. You know,
Well,
your word
you
wizardry. You need to go back to wizard school. It's not that good.
Well, it's cult behavior. I hate to steal from Steve Dace today, but like literally, you're witnessing cult behavior. You're like once
What are you
you're
talking about?
this is
Steal
like,
from Steve Dace. I've been saying that for quite some time.
no.
Yes.
We are the originators of word wizardry. What I'm talking about is cult
No,
behavior.
yeah, I've been talking about that.
Yeah.
This is a cult
True.
for a long time.
That's
The
true.
left
That's true.
is
Hey,
a
listen,
cult.
At least a year and a half that
We're
I can
equivalent.
recall.
See, Steve
I know
Dace is
seeing
great.
it on
I love
display.
Steve Dace. We're equivalent to Steve Dace, just
I
not
don't
in
know.
terms of views
We're just
and experience in politics.
I just think I just think we're younger and prettier. So if you're in chess, but no, you're watching cult
Yeah, we're
behavior.
younger. We're younger. Yes, we're younger.
I mean, you're watching people for the first time have to defend their crappy point. They
Yeah.
have to defend killing babies, and they don't understand that other people don't want to worship Moloch. They have a hard time computing with that. So these are not the droids you're looking for. It doesn't work on a rational human being. You know what I mean? So it only works in Planned Parenthood and college campuses and really low
Who do you think
information.
you are? Jedi?
Obi-Wan Kenobi said it the best. He did.
What's
The
that?
Force works powerfully against the weak-minded.
100%. 100%. Speaking
And
of
it's
Well,
true.
I
on
got a better.
that
I
front.
got a better line. Who do you think you
Okay.
are? A Jedi? Mind tricks don't work on Republicans.
Mhm.
Only money.
only money.
Guido. Gotta love it.
Speaking of money, here's the deal. I don't know if you guys saw that Disney's approval rating is like 30% right now. Favorability.
Oh yeah, it dropped
30%.
53 points, I think, in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
bad.
insane. But
And
I
you
mean,
know-
deserved.
Kind of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. But you know what's going to fix it, boys? I have the solution.
What's the
that?
solution? I want to hear.
She-Hulk. We need She-Hulk yesterday because Moon Knight really took him over the top, and now it's time for some She-Hulk, because that's gonna move the needle. And did you guys get a chance to see the trailer by any chance?
No.
So I saw it. I did not hear it.
Well, the good news is they brought in the same CGI that was used in Shrek, so it was really exciting to see that level of CGI posted.
Yes. I have a picture of that.
That's only 15 years ago. The Shrek, or no, it's over 20 years ago.
Listen, NASA's been using CGI since the 80s, so it's all good. We continue to use really bad
Wait.
technology.
I thought they've been using CGI since the 60s.
Who knows? Anyways, I mean, She-Hulk trailer really pissed me off, and I don't care about pop culture stuff that much. Like that, it doesn't. Like, listen, the Kardashians do nothing for me. Okay, I don't care about how often have we talked about Johnny Depp and what's his whore
Amber
wife?
Heard.
Who?
Amber Heard.
Oh, okay. Aquaman's side chick. I don't care. Okay, like I don't care.
Mrs. Evil.
You know
Evil.
what I mean? I don't care. The only thing that I care about is that Fantastic Beast box office sucked butt because they kicked out Johnny Depp from the part he should have been in. So that's the only thing that's funny to me. I care about pop culture. But here's the deal, okay?
Well,
We're all comic.
the only thing I care about for Amber Heard and Johnny Depp is just if he wins, that's quite a significant culture shift away from, it's. I mean, she'll have deserved it, but women in court get a tremendous amount of the benefit of the
That's
doubt.
true. Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, unless you poop in a bed out of anger.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I would say is, okay, I don't really get that pissed off about pop culture crap.
Yeah, true.
I kind of dipped out. When did I dip out of the Marvel Cinematic universe stuff? I watched Hawkeye. That wasn't Hawkeye. It was MCU bait and switch. I heard Moon Knight did the same thing. Like, oh, this is Moon Knight, but really it's about this chick who we changed the gender to Scarab from the comics. Cool. And then, now we're at least getting the character that we're supposed to get, right? In She-Hulk. And then I'm looking at the actress. Could they have picked a smaller, tinier actress to play She-Hulk at all?
Well, isn't that kind of the point?
Well, yeah, it was kind of the point. She was a small girl to begin with, and then she transforms into She-Hulk and hulks out.
So time on the field. Use her for like the origin at the beginning, and then cut her loose. I've seen cosplay chicks that put green makeup on that are tall and jacked and look amazing. That, whatever that CGI.
But we have CGI, and it's great CGI. I mean, just look at the Hulk. The Hulk looks amazing, and the Hulk does look amazing. And she, as we know, She-Hulk is the Hulk at 50%. So we'll just do the CGI at 50%.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Like, here's the deal. I get it. Like, they can't piss off wokey woke Mark Ruffalo. I get it. So they kept his CGI looking good in the trailer. But hers was atrocious.
It's garbage. Yeah, it's bad.
It was atrocious.
It's like,
and I'm sitting there.
It doesn't look like a human face doing things.
No, dude, that looked like 1995 Raw is War CGI, like pixelated BS. I'm like, what is this? What am I watching right now? And it's Disney. I get it. Like, the stock prices are down, but spend the money if you're going to do CGI. Or, this is crazy concept. Find a really tall, hot chick that's buff. They're out there. There's lots of them. Okay.
So essentially, you're wanting to do a Captain America.
Yeah.
When she's human, she's this other person in space map over, and then when she's Hulk, she's normal and just jacked and huge. Well,
how
they already fired
the Captain America, bro. He comes out jacked and tan.
Yeah.
What about Chris Helmsworth? Okay, he's jacked, tan. Maybe not tan.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But okay,
come on.
They already fired Karina Morana. So I mean,
you mean Gina Carano?
Or Gina Carano, excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah. They already fired her, so they can't use her.
True.
So
here's the thing. The subset of males who can get jacked or who are jacked and can act is larger than the subset of females who are jacked and can act. Right?
Okay.
Extremely true.
Here's the problem. I've seen pictures of one of my woman crushes put some muscle on. Okay. I have seen the Thor Love and Thunder trailer. Okay. And for the second, I see, Princess Amidala grabbing the deal. She's got some guns. It's called Anavar. Right? Look it up. Chicks get jacked on Anavar, and they're still women. It's crazy, right? And it's Hollywood. Let's stop pretending that they all take roids. Chris Helmsworth is not naturally jacked like that. I'm sorry. Hugh Jackman is not naturally jacked like that. Neither is
the veins in his arms are not natural.
Listen, dog. Okay. They all on the sauce, and it's okay. It's 2022. We're smart enough to realize that it's not the demon that Nancy Reagan made it out to be. Okay, but let's get actual actresses on some Anavar, and she looks the freaking part, and I got no problem because then I'm like, you know what? That's awesome. That's awesome. There are chicks that are tall and jacked that can act. Okay. And I get it. The pie's not as big, but come on, bro. Come on, man. For real?
Well, that's assuming that the woman that they did pick can act, and
she can't. I've seen her in a bunch of stuff, and I've never been impressed by her acting skills.
Listen, at this point in Marvel, does it even matter? Does it matter if they can act?
Yes. I'll tell you why. Because we've had shows like Daredevil. We've had shows like Luke Cage. We've had shows like... I know. So that raised the bar up here. Like, well, Up here.
Who did?
So Disney, in order to do better, needs to go up
Disney
here.
did Daredevil?
Yes, they did.
Disney did Daredevil,
Yeah.
the Netflix original.
Yes.
No.
It was yes. It was still
It was-
Marvel Studios. It was just their TV division, which was separate,
Yeah.
which separated from their movie division. It was still under
Correct.
the umbrella of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, that's why when it started from the aftermath of the Battle of New York.
Correct. It did.
Okay.
And they referenced it quite
barely
often.
concede the point, but
Get
it's
me
like
all
saying,
fired up.
No, but here's the deal. I get a fight with you and Adam about this all the time. Big Adam, I get a fight with him all the time about this. It's like saying that Disney had everything to do with Spider-Man. I'm sorry, it didn't.
That was all Sony.
It's Sony. I'm sorry, bro. As badly as people want to hold on to it, it's not. So all I'm saying is Disney controlled these miniseries. I liked WandaVision. Thought it was cool. I enjoyed WandaVision. Hawkeye was trash. It was.
Loki was great.
Okay.
I liked Loki.
Loki
a
was
lot.
fun. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. I am tired of these series sucking for 5 episodes, and the 6th episode saves everything. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like,
But
why
I
do I
didn't
have
feel
to
that way
wait?
about Loki. I didn't feel that way
No.
about Loki. I was engrossed the whole time.
It was
I was
okay.
engrossed for most of it. I think there was 2 episodes where I was like, okay, filler.
Dude, when they're the 5th episode when they're trying to get to Kang, or no, I think it was the 4th when they were trying to get to Kang, and I'm sitting there like, bro, okay, I like boys too. That was the whole premise of the episode. I'm over it. Okay, just get me to Kang the Conqueror.
It was
Kang
one
said,
line. It wasn't the purpose of the episode.
Mhm.
It was a stupid line,
this?
and I am sick of that crap. But
No. Here's the problem. How do you devolve? Here's my problem with Marvel. How do you devolve characters that have stood toe to toe with Thanos all of a sudden? Straight up. How does Loki, who obviously gets killed or whatever through Thanos, right?
Mhm.
But he's essentially in his own timeline. He's fought the Avengers, and he's struggling with henchmen, and need his chick version to bail him out all the time. Come on, bro. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Hawkeye magically he's just not tough enough. You know what I mean? He's just not
That's
tough
also
enough.
death. You know, he's got to have that.
That too. That to be fair, but it's like, come on, man. I'm just tired of building up these characters to stop Thanos, and then all of a sudden we're just gonna destroy all of them. Hey, Thor's going through a midlife crisis on Love and Thunder. I'm excited about that.
His 5th one,
Really
right?
pumped. Yeah, his fifth just in the MCU. Just in the MCU. The guy who's spent an eternity of battling and warring and destroying now is like, gee golly, I have feelings, guys. Come on, man. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I'm not saying. I'm just saying I enjoyed Loki. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, fair. Listen, to each his own. Okay, it's all good. But She-Hulk does not give me confidence. That trailer makes me think it's dead on arrival. I'm sorry. That's how I felt about the Moon Knight trailer. I was like, oh, geez, this is gonna be trash.
So I'm hoping Disney takes this feedback because they just dropped this trailer, and they have 2 months before the show drops.
Listen,
they have Obi-Wan that's dropping, and at the end of Obi-Wan, She-Hulk is supposed to air. I hope they pull She-Hulk and fix the CGI. The storyline's screwed either way. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
But at least I hope they fix the CGI just like they did with Sonic.
I was going to say, they did that with Sonic. It saved the movie.
Well, they did it with
It
Luke
saved
too.
that entire franchise.
Yeah.
And there's precedent for it. Disney did it with Luke in the Book of Boba Fett. Because the Luke that they had at the end of the 2nd season of Mandalorian was kind of trash. And
it wasn't good.
And a group of people on YouTube did a better version of it on their own free time, and then got hired to do Luke in Book of Boba Fett.
which was superior in every way. Not great.
Well, not perfect.
Still, you could
but
tell
I don't
it was
think you can
CGI, but
I'm
it was
not
a
convinced that it
lot
can
better.
be truly perfect. I don't know. Well, I mean, some of the fakes that you see on.
Yeah, but
Some of the deep fakes that they've got going on right now are just incredible.
now CGI aside for She-Hulk, okay. The whole
The storyline's
did you guys hear the
garbage.
trailer?
I don't. The
don't know what the
storyline is
story is.
garbage. No matter what they do with the CGI, the storyline will suck.
It's
That's
immediately about chick problems.
Yeah.
Because chick. There's just not enough chicks in the MCU at all at this point. Especially after Scarlet Witch. Doctor Strange too.
And don't forget Miss Marvel, who's coming out in just a few months.
No, it's Miss Marvels. There's going to be more of them than just her. Get
Let
excited.
me guess, Squirrel Girl's going to be in it too,
Oh,
who
dear
has
Lord.
defeated Thanos in the comic books, has defeated
Listen.
Galactus in the comic books. Squirrel Girl.
I'm going to just say this. If Squirrel Girl shows up in a Marvel Cinematic movie, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
I checked
Now-
my box. I saw Endgame. I'm good. Thank you guys.
But,
I'm out.
But the whole premise of the She-Hulk trailer is I'm dating at 30. Tough life. And it's like, I'm sitting there like, okay, I get it. What's the number one demographic that sits and watches shows? 35-year-old white chicks. That is the number one demographic that sits down and watches any show. It is. It's a fact. Hallmark is propped up on that very stat.
Yeah.
Like regular TV is set up for 35 to 45-year-old women, white chicks. That is the literal number one demographic of shows. So I'm sure this is going to resonate. It's going to be really, really cool and so on and so forth. But why are you wasting Abomination on this filth? Don't waste one of Hulk's best baddies on this, right? Like my last two tastes of Abomination were phenomenal. From the Hulk movie, loved it, to the freaking Wong and him fighting in the freaking.
That was amazing.
Shang-Chi.
That was actually my favorite
That was-
scene in the entire movie. The rest
That
of
was
it
the
is
best part of the
horrible.
It was
Yeah.
the best part of the movie, other than the bus scene. Those two things. The problem is that movie could be done in 30 minutes because those are the two best scenes are in the beginning. But all I'm saying is, do we really need an extension? Do we need like the chick experience crisis after? Do we need it? Is that what's needed? Because here's the deal: She-Hulk in the comics is not struggling with dating. Does she struggle with dating in the comics?
In the
No.
today's comics, yeah, they'll do stuff like
But-
that.
No.
No. But
No.
the real She-Hulk, not the woke
In
one.
today's comics, they won't do stuff like that. Or is that what you're saying, Dusty?
Yeah. Today's comics, it's all about the struggle of the today woman. However, you go back 10 years,
Yeah, of
and
course.
she was not struggling at all with
No.
dating or anything like that.
No, she
I
was
think she-
fighting evil.
Well,
Yeah.
she's-
She was fighting bad guys. She was fighting racism. She was a lawyer. She was actually in the courtroom. There's a lot of law drama
yes.
in that comic book, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It was great drama.
Yes. And did she struggle with men at any point?
No.
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 No. She's like the sex pot of the Marvel universe, arguably.
One of
Like
them.
Yeah.
who's the other honeypot sex pot of the Marvel universe other than her?
Rogue.
Spider Woman.
Rogue.
Who?
Rogue.
Did you say Spider Woman?
Jessica Drake.
Come on, man.
Have you seen
Yeah.
her? Have you seen
I
her?
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right.
No.
No,
Rogue.
you're not.
I'm
but I
right.
love you.
I am. No,
Oh,
you're
come
just
on.
you're a body freak.
Listen.
You
I'm
go
gonna
to
feel-
Rogue and Storm.
you go to conventions to watch dudes in G-strings
You're
parade
right.
their body, okay? So, of course She-Hulk is the pinnacle for you.
No.
'Cause she's
Not
the
pinnacle.
closest to looking like a dude.
Time out.
Boom.
I can think of a
Boom.
bigger lineup than Spider Woman. I can name 5 right off the top. that are just way better.
No. That was not your question.
Black
Obviously, Spider Woman is not a
Rogue.
tier hero,
Storm.
but in
Jean
Storm, get that crap out of here.
Storm.
Get it
Storm?
out of here.
Matt,
Over
Matt,
Spider
no,
Woman?
no, you're going to lose that argument. You're going to lose that argument.
In terms
Okay.
of hotness, over Spider Woman. That was the question.
Oh yeah,
That was the question.
Storm.
is a top tier hero, no doubt. But
no,
in terms of
she
hotness,
is hot.
Spider
Oh,
Woman.
she is hot.
And
Who?
I'm still waiting for the Spider-Woman adaptation to film. I'm sorry. I've seen it numerous times.
I'm not
with
saying
Halle
that
Berry.
her storyline or her hero level is top tier, but in terms of hotness, she is a top tier hottie.
She's
Rogue,
top 150. Sure.
She-Hulk.
She's top 5.
She-Hulk.
Easily.
Jean Grey. Rogue.
Definitely top 10.
Storm.
I will even put in there Mary Jane Watson over
Mary J. Watson.
over Spider-Woman.
Freaking
You
what's
guys
her
haven't
face?
seen her then. You don't know what you're talking about.
Bro.
Black
You're
Cat for
talking
sure.
about to the
Black
Black
Mary
Cat,
Jane,
yeah.
sure.
Black
Yeah.
Cat?
Black
Come
Cat
on, man.
definitely. Black Cat definitely. Mary Jane for sure. Rogue is great.
Storm, definitely.
Spider-Woman.
Nah, not Storm.
Spider-Woman.
Not Storm.
I knew I was gonna fight with you
Storm's
today, Matt.
pretty.
I knew you were gonna fight. You had to
Storm's
bring in
pretty. Jean Grey's pretty, but they're not top. They're not.
Oh yeah.
They're
Oh
not.
yeah, there.
You're wrong.
Wow. Matt,
You're
I just
wrong.
wow.
And I love
sorry.
the X-Men. The X-Men is like it's
Okay,
the
I'm going to take
tip
this
of the top
off
to me.
camera later. 'Cause I've got an argument for you that's going to win.
No. It's all good. Listen, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, so Spider Nerd. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding with you. I'm kidding. I love you. You're beautiful. Now, here's the deal. Back to freaking She-Hulk.
I mean, there's a
okay,
whole controversy, a whole sexual controversy regarding Spider-Woman and her appearance on the covers of issues of the comics. But you know what? I guess what I'm wrong.
Listen,
Whatever.
And
That's
they
fine.
had the same controversy with She-Hulk and all the others.
Yes.
All
The whole
no.
90s were
I'm
controversy.
not. I'm talking
Yeah.
about something very specific.
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying is iconically in the
That was not part of the
pantheon.
question. That wasn't part of the question.
My goodness, man. And,
No,
and then
you're changing the terms. You're
Hey,
changing
listen.
the terms on me to win the argument.
I'm not changing the terms. I'm just saying if you line up an average comic book nerd, are they going to pick She-Hulk or Spider-Woman?
I think it could go either way.
Okay.
I'm not. I
Storm-
didn't.
Storm. No. Time out.
No, no,
Storm
no.
or Spider-Woman?
Spider-Woman.
I'm going Storm.
If they have any sense, which you guys
Black-
clearly do not,
I'm going
Listen, Black
I'm
Cat,
going
Spider-Woman.
1991 Storm.
that's a toss-up.
1991 Storm.
It's a
Oh,
toss
with the mohawk.
Jean Grey, or
I
Spider-Woman.
love the Mohawk.
Oh, Spider-Woman. Jean Grey's pretty, but she's not. I mean, that was Wolverine and Cyclops thing, but I mean, she's pretty.
Rogue or Spider-Woman?
Toss-up.
She's not even in the top 5. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
She's like definitely in the top 5.
Oh, Matt, listen.
You just
make a
haven't
Twitter-
seen her. You
make a
haven't seen
Twitter
her.
poll.
You don't have the
Make a
experience.
Twitter poll on Plausible Poll.
You don't have the experience. Nobody's
Listen,
gonna-
make a
nobody's
Twitter
gonna-
poll right now. Is she top 5? Just saying. Death Hunter, what's going on,
All
man?
98 of our subscribers will definitely be in on that poll.
If we hashtag Marvel and Disney, the fanboys will come. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. But anyways, I was teed off that I had to watch Fiona go through swiping problems of her 30s, on the She-Hulk trailer. What's up?
Okay. According to Watch Mojo, and it's the same list. It ended up being the same as Maxim Magazine's hottest comic book women for Marvel.
Okay, go. Give me the list.
Number eight, Black Cat.
Okay.
Number 7, Mystique.
Oh, yeah.
Number 6, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Number five is Psylocke,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's one that
completely
we're
right
yeah,
there.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one that we kind of breezed over.
Yeah,
Definitely a hot one.
easily.
Hey, good thing we consulted Maxim. I'm excited.
Rogue is number 4.
Yeah.
Storm is number 3.
It's garbage.
Storm is that girl. She's that girl.
Mary Jane Watson, number 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I disagree with this one, but Emma Frost is number 1.
Emma Frost too. The thing is, just the X-Men rogues of the X-Men gallery by itself wipes away the notion that Spider-Woman's even in the top 10. That's all I'm trying to
The
say.
only reason she's not in there is because the people from Maxim aren't comic book nerds and they don't know who she is. Because she's not that. Agreed, she is not that popular.
Yeah.
She's not that like known by
Okay.
by far. But if you
So I left
do
off
know
2.
her, you know
But
that she.
listen, but every small town guy can say, if you know Billy Joe Jean, whoo, that girl's a looker. But then if I say Cindy Crawford, you know exactly who I'm talking about. True or false?
Yeah, but I
True.
can also be like, and she doesn't compare to Billy Joe Jean, so I mean, she may have been rich and a model, but Billy Joe Jean is.
Now, Maxim doesn't do top 8, so give me the 9 and 10, Dusty. Don't hold back.
Number 10 was Elektra.
Yeah.
And number 9 was Gamora.
Gamora. So She-Hulk's not even in the top 10 for Maxim.
No. Nope.
Wow. So hey, listen, it's a wash. It's a wash. I will live to fight another battle. We'll find
listen,
another place.
I'm not saying that she's over She-Hulk. I just said she deserves to be included. That was my argument. We were just listing, and then I said Spider-Woman, and you guys were like, "Whoa, Spider-Woman!"
Well, to me, no, listen. To be fair, to me, that's like saying, "Well, Jubilee should be in the top 10." I'm like, Jubilee for real? For
No,
real? For real?
She's
What?
supposed to be 14 in the comic books. I have a hard time with that
Well,
one.
she was
Wait, who?
not
What?
anymore. Now she's an adult vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I must be really out of the comic books because
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
she's got a kid.
After Civil War, I kind of dipped out.
Shadowcat. That was the one I was trying to remember. Shadowcat.
Kitty Pryde, is that what you're talking about?
Kitty
Yeah.
Pryde. Shadowcat.
Yeah.
Nah.
But she's not iconic though, man. And especially since she got played by a tranny in the one movie, so kind of killed that. I'm just saying, mistakes were made. But anyways, that raged me
Okay,
today.
we spent
Sorry.
a lot of time on this because we're all
Yeah, we
gigantic
spent way
nerds.
too much time.
We're passionate today. We're passionate today. Which is good.
we're horn dog.
We really
nerds,
need to get back
and,
on topic
We need
here.
to get back on topic.
Nerd alert. But yeah, She-Hulk
Seriously.
sucks. It's gonna suck. But keep going. Sorry about that, man.
My wife's gonna be like, "What were you talking about?" I heard the whole conversation, and I'm not. happy.
Listen, you can't get in trouble with fictitious ladies. Okay.
We'll see about that.
We love our
if women can have dreams, if wives can have dreams where you did something wrong to them and be mad at you because you did something wrong in their dream, fictitious women can count.
All I gotta say is Hallmark Channel, and you can kick rocks. That is the reality.
She
if you're
hates
gonna
Hallmark.
have,
She can't stand
listen,
the bad acting.
yeah, it's true. Praise the Lord. I wish my wife agreed on that point. You know.
Well, your
It's
wife
the
didn't. Your wife didn't
story.
study theater in college, so
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, let's get
Anyway.
into it, boys. Sorry. Let's get to the topic at hand, man. What
Okay,
about
so,
the Hallmark Channel? It's garbage. Go ahead.
so there was a tragic shooting in Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah.
This past weekend, and since then, and the dude was a white supremacist. He chose the black neighborhood. He chose a neighborhood in New York where they have strict gun laws, so he could get away with it. And of course, he was from he was a white supremacist from the far right. And
No, he wasn't.
No, he was an acolyte of Tucker Carlson and a proponent of the Great Replacement theory. A Republican staple, by the way. that great replacement.
That was
and
created
really
by
a
Mark.
staple of all on the right, libertarian, anarchist, whatever. They all are proponents of the great replacement theory, right? I mean, that's what the media is saying.
Yeah, no. That's about holds as much water as I cheated on my wife in my wife's dream. About the same amount of water.
Is that gonna be our
Vamonos,
analogy?
Brandon, you're
Like,
absolutely right. You are absolutely right. There were 33 shot in Chicago this last weekend too, and that is normal in Chicago, and it's freaking sad. Not just that, in California there was a church shooting that isn't really been talking about because it's Asian on Asian crime. No, this one's
Well-
special because it's white on black.
So that's the one we got to focus on.
That is the one we got to focus on, and it allows us to spread this great replacement hoax.
Oh, by the way, 21 people got shot in Minnesota outside of the basketball game the same day the Buffalo shooting happened. So you got Chicago, Minnesota, and California. I'm noticing a pattern, guys. Aren't those all blue states?
That
Extremely
can't
blue.
possibly be. There's no guns in those states.
Exactly.
So how could they
Keep
have
going, keep going.
shootings?
It's just so strange that all the mass
I know,
shootings
right?
always happen in blue states. But, it's all good. No big deal.
In gun-free zones. You forgot the gun-free zones.
Yeah.
Yes. Which he specifically chose so that he would be he would have the least amount of resistance. And he could up his kill count.
There's 2 points to that. One you just hit on. He can up his kill count. The other one, he has less to worry about shooting back at him.
Exactly.
He
There was
didn't want
one
to
guy
not
who
get
did
away
shoot
with
at
it.
him, but he was wearing a Kevlar vest, and it was the security guard. He was wearing a Kevlar vest, and so he absorbed that shot, and then the security guard who wasn't wearing a Kevlar vest and had no backup because nobody else was armed got killed.
Yep.
Also, he in his manifesto he railed against Fox News and described himself as previously a communist, but has moved more authoritarian center left since then. But what we need to focus on, okay, what's really important is the great replacement theory, because that's a heinous evil being spouted by the Republicans constantly, and it's promoting, it's what's provoking these people to murder. Never mind that the shooter had written the names of the Waukesha victims who got run over by a black supremacist months earlier, and we never talked about it because he was a black supremacist killing white people.
Actually, we did talk about it. We talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
but
we did.
As a culture, we didn't. Vamonos Brandon says, what are the politics of the shooters in Chicago every weekend? Their politics is most likely... are Bloods and Crips in Chicago?
No, it's just a corrupt blue city. It always has been that way. When you live in
Well, it's
hell,
basically the members of this other gang need to die because they killed us. And so that cycle of violence is never going to stop.
But if you're a citizen, it's bad for you to have a gun.
Yeah. Wouldn't want there to be gun violence.
How dare you try to defend yourself?
Yeah. No, but great replacement theory. So what is the great replacement theory? I contend that there are multiple forms of it. And there is one that's extremely racist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically that the idea is that the Democrats are so keen on a porous border because they want to replace white people in this country. That's the racist version. They want people of color to replace white people.
And what is the backing of that theory?
Well,
why do they want to replace white people with people of color or people of Hispanic background?
Well, I'm sure that in the racist theory, it's because they fear how supremely better white people are. You know, that kind of nonsense.
Well, I was actually referring to the Democrats. Why do they want
Oh no,
Hispanics to be the majority?
Okay, so we have to delineate, because
Okay,
the
all right.
racist theory would say it's because they want to eliminate white people because white people are superior and they fear that, you know.
Okay, all right.
And that's garbage. Completely.
Yeah.
And that's the theory. Yes, that's the theory that that the Buffalo shooter was espousing. Complete garbage. Now, their claim is that what the Buffalo shooter was espousing is what Tucker Carlson is talking about on his show on Fox News. But it's not. It's completely not.
Are you talking about the voter replacement?
Yes. So the other option, and the more accurate option, or at least the more plausible, is that the porous border means Democrat voters. Has nothing to do with their race.
Mm-hmm.
It could be from Sweden for all the Democrats care, as long as they'll be dependent on the government, that there'll be millions of them, and that eventually they can give them amnesty and then have a surefire vote because they're dependent on what the Democrats offer, which is free everything.
Mm-hmm.
But none of it's actually free. The I had another thought. Crap. I hate when that happens. It was a good one too. Go for it, Ray.
Oh, listen, I'm half black, so I can't be in this conversation because diversity is destiny. What did they used to say during the Obama years? It was demographics is destiny. You know, demographics is destiny.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember those days during the Obama years?
Oh yeah.
And
when they were promoting their own version, their own racist version of the replacement theory.
Yes, 100%. Which is interesting because here's the thing that stood out to me, this whole situation. Two things.
Before you start to what you were saying about what they were saying in the Obama era, there's an article that you can get today. You can go to NewYorkTimes.com and look it up, and the title is "We Can Replace Them," and it's about the Stacey Abrams campaign in Georgia and how she's fighting against white supremacy. And the title of it is "We Can Replace Them." But it's a ridiculous, implausible theory. I don't like the race part of it. The race part is nonsense. There is only one race. It's the human race, and that's where I'm at as far as I'm concerned. And that's where we all should be. But continue.
Let me be fair on this topic. I'll be very fair to both sides, which is going to be incredibly rare, but it is what it is. I mean, there are white people that latch onto this idea, like that it's like, oh, people. Now, that is a really stupid thought process. To your point, we're all human beings. It doesn't matter, okay? The reality of the situation is if you're in a melting pot like America, people are going to look different. They're going to be different than what you are. If you look at Africans versus African Americans, they're completely different. They're completely different.
Well, why is that? Because their skin color's the same.
Well, I mean, but it's. I mean, the thing to my point is this:
it's culture, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, culture's different. Your nutrition's different. The circumstances what you got there are different. What you did when you were here are different. It's a different world. Okay, you compare an African to an African American, it's different. You compare a Haitian to an African, it's different, right? It's just how it goes. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You put a bunch of Filipinos on an island where they have an unlimited amount of food. You're going to make Samoans that are huge and big and strong. Like, we've seen this happen over and over and over and over again. Okay. So this idea that you're being replaced is kind of a ridiculous notion in the first place, or that you're going to replace other people. It's not a race thing. It's an ideology thing that they're praying and hoping changes. Because let's get real. On MSNBC, literally yesterday, the number one Democratic strategist literally said, hey, listen, things don't look good for Democrats and the economy's not on our side. So we've got to scare people into saying this replacement theory is their thing. It's their baby and they've got to own it. The problem, though, is we have the internet and we have memories. And I remember during the Obama years that demographics is destiny. Demographics is destiny. That same group of people that told us demographics is destiny during the Obama years, which gave us Obamacare, which crushed our economy, watched Trump kick butt for 4 years. And now Latin votes, which they're banking, hoping, and praying for, only approve them at 26% right now. Think about that. I don't know a single, I know one of my Latin friends that still thinks Democrats are better, but that's because she's an affluent, college-aged girl. Just like that's the only demographic that the Democrats are winning right now. They're getting affluent Karens and girls out of college. That's it. That is their entire Democratic platform because they don't have blacks right now. We're over it. They don't have Latinos. They've never had Latinos. Florida is the perfect example of that. Just throwing it out there. You never had Latinos, especially when most of them are Cubans and Venezuelans that live here. So they're not going to go for Democrats. The only people you've got are really easily manipulated Karens and really easily manipulated college girls. That's the only thing you got. So literally they have to scare people into thinking they're racist again. I'm going to let you in on a little insight. People don't care about racism when they're paying $4.50 for gas. They don't care.
Projected to be $6 by the end of the summer.
Yeah. People don't give a rat's, sorry, pardon my French, they don't give a rat's ass about a racist theory when their babies can't get formula. They don't care at all.
No.
Like, people don't care about racism when they watch their country that can't take care of their own people or their border give $40 billion to Ukraine Alondria, okay? Like, nobody cares. Sorry.
You realize you could build the wall 3 times with the money we just gave to Ukraine. We could build 3 walls across the same thing for the money we gave to Ukraine. To do what? To do what?
Don't worry. Eye patch is all for it because, listen, if you want to feed your baby, you're a Russian agent.
Matt, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say a little nugget, a little factoid on the whole baby formula shortage. So remember last time we talked, I mentioned that there was in January or February there had been a recall of Psylocke and all these other some of the most popular brands of baby formula, right? There was like some kind of bacterial contamination, and so it took them a little while, but they cleaned it up. The factory, they cleaned their whole factory. They shut down production, cleaned the whole factory. They're ready to go. Mm-hmm. They've been ready to go. The FDA still hasn't come to inspect them.
Nope. What's it been, like 3 months?
More than that. Well, no, I guess, probably 3 months. 3 or 4 months.
It's been about 3 months, I thought, is what I read.
Yeah. I'm thinking we're later in the year, but no, it's still only May. It feels like it should be December, but it's not weather-wise, but just, the wear and tear on our minds from how piss poor the Biden administration is doing.
Well, see, what I took the 3 months was from the time they cleaned up the factory and said, okay, we're ready to the now. It's been 3 months. And the FDA has not come and inspected the factory to prove, okay, you can start producing again. So they're just sitting there on their lawyers going like this. In the midst of the shortage.
Yeah. And once they do start production, it'll take 10 weeks for it to get to market.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon.
Great job. Great job. All the while, on top of the fact that it's illegal to import baby formula from Europe for some reason, even though their food standards are like
Way
10
stricter.
times better than ours.
Way stricter and way better.
Way stricter.
But
Oh yeah,
dude,
that's a
I
whole
lost
another
20
issue.
pounds. I lost 20 pounds in a week in Europe, and I ate about a quarter of the amount of food, but was more full than I would have been here. It was the weirdest thing.
It was real food.
It was
It wasn't
everything
processed.
I ate was real.
there's less preservatives
It's so weird.
and a lot less sugar.
Sorry, that was just.
Yeah,
I
try to go to the
remember that.
grocery store and find something without sugar in it. I dare you.
So I just buy meat. Go to Fresh Fields here in Orlando and get a lot of meat, baby. But yeah, no, I mean here's what's crazy to me. This whole situation is. Now, to Matt's point, I'm glad you brought this up, right? Because it's interesting that it's projection, it's typical left stuff, right? It's like colluding with Russia, and then they're the ones that colluded with Russia. They're colluding with Ukraine. Stop colluding with Ukraine. And watch what we're doing right now with Mitch McConnell and all of these idiots. Okay, with Ukraine, they're always trying to steal elections. 2,000 mules, like. Every single thing that they say that we're doing, that the right is doing, they've already done it. It's always projection, right? So if their MO is they're the ones pushing replacement theory, even though for 12 years we kept saying demographics is our destiny, and we had Oprah saying I can't wait for white people to die out, and like straight up, y'all have seen that, right? When Oprah's like. We'll just wait for all those racist white people to die out. Like, look that up. It is a. That's why I'm always like, how in the world do you worship this woman? All you white 35-year-old women, the demographic they're going after.
Well,
because
they're not the racist ones that she's talking about.
But they are.
Yeah,
they are because every white person is racist. CRT.
Exactly. Yeah. Which we're not teaching CRT. They are. They're just trying not to teach slavery. Okay. It's always projection.
I was listening to Glenn Beck. I was listening to Glenn Beck this morning, and he was reading an article. And the author of the article had the audacity, like the unmitigated gall, to say that to claim that basically CRT is a Republican hoax talking point. That they just made it up. Like literally he's saying like they made it up.
Okay.
How do they have the balls? I know how they have the balls because they're completely unchecked.
Yeah, because nobody pays attention.
Yeah, Orange County has not fired 4 people for teaching CRT in the school this year. No, we just made it up. We just made it up. It's just a hoax. Just a hoax, people.
We made it up so we could fire people of color and LGBTQ++.
They weren't of color.
Plus.
They may be. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, it's again, no one's grooming your kids, and then immediately after that, there's a bunch of people grooming kids. I mean, it's the same game.
Listen to this. I got something for that, and it's a good one. Okay. The World Professional Association for Transgender Health, the International Medical Association, which sets guidelines for the medical transitioning of children, so obviously it's already a crap organization, but it gets worse, has been collaborating with participants of a fetish forum that hosts and produces fictional child pornography and extreme sadomasochistic content. On December 3rd, 2021, WPATH released draft guidelines which include, for the first time, the category of eunuch as a protected gender identity, WPATH's updated 8th edition of their standards of care, which recommends medical treatment and services for those with a self-declared gender identity, describes the relationship between eunuch identified people and other transgendered people. The document states eunuch identified people may share with other gender diverse people a desire for reduction or elimination of masculine physical features, genitals, or genital functioning. The Eunuch Archive began in the late 1990s in collaboration with body modification e-zine and was initially hosted on the same site. BME achieved some notoriety in the early 2000s for a viral video titled Pain Olympics, which featured men mutilating their junk on camera. Crazy. Let me see. Okay, so an FAQ so I guess so this spawned a bunch of different things. Alt.unix. A news group called alt.unix.questions, where people shared castration fantasies, et cetera, et cetera. An FAQ document published at the beginning of the site's development recommended several other torture and bondage porn forums for users to share images and request cutters. Notably, Usenet forums were the target of the FBI's first investigations into internet-based pedophile rings, as it provided a space for organizing and exchanging of that material. So listen to this. One of the archive's most prominent participants is an unidentified site administrator who uses the moniker Jesus. Jesus claims to have been involved in editing the most recent version of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM-5, issued by the American Psychiatric Association, and WPATH's new Standards of Care draft. In 2010, the pseudonymous Jesus posted to the forum on how WPATH authorities had come to perceive the term gender identity disorder as outdated, saying he was in attendance at a 2009 meeting in Oslo where there was consensus to implement the term gender dysphoria in the subsequent edition of the Standards of Care. The draft for the next edition of the DSM-5 suggests gender incongruence, which I much prefer, he wrote. The body and mind are out of sync, with no mental illness implied. In 2016, Jesus claimed to have been specifically chosen to rewrite a portion of the Standards of Care by former WPATH president Eli Coleman, who pointed at me and announced that I was expected to provide input on eunuchs for the revision. Now is our opportunity to help devise the standards of care that will be most helpful. And it just keeps going. Insanity.
Yeah.
Insanity.
Yeah. Just disgusting to me, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's disgusting. And it's insane, and that these people are involved in what's in in determining the science,
right? Determining what CRT is, determining what mental health is.
The science is, folks. Whenever anybody tells you to follow the science, this nonsense and extreme perversity is what they're talking about. Sickening.
Yeah, completely. I mean,
but you know, grooming isn't real.
And this is the stuff that they want to teach our kids. This is the stuff they want to prove through CRT, through sex education.
Well, and here's the thing: if they're not grooming them for the sex stuff, they're grooming them to be little Chays, little Marxes, little Stalins, little Maos,
right?
Little Pol Pots. Yeah.
Because the thing is, you can't eradicate an entire demographic, right?
But what they found in the gender identity stuff is a way to destabilize these kids.
Sure.
And to separate them from their parents.
Yeah.
Which is what Mao did in the Cultural Revolution.
Yep.
It's exactly 100%. So I mean, either way, they come out little mouths, little revolutionaries. But we also, but you also get the sex benefits from it, the sex weirdness, and
I mean, listen, if they can't
it's
get you to,
gross.
if they can't get you to kill your baby in the womb, then they're going to try to get them to,
Pervert them.
completely pervert them, right? And if they can't pervert them, then they'll try to just continue this cycle. Here's the beautiful thing. At least they're saying quiet parts out loud now, right? It's a lot easier to fight an enemy you can see. Okay, like nobody wants to fight Obama. What?
And here.
Yeah, right. You couldn't fight Obama because the alternative was George Bush or Mitt Romney or freaking
Mitt Romney.
They're all on the same side. John McCain, because he's super conservative.
Super.
Like the thing is, this is like when everything's gray, it's really easy to manipulate it. The beautiful thing about kind of the nationalist push over the last couple of years, whether it's Brexit or France or the Trump wave, is at least you send some craziness the opposite way, the equal and opposite reaction. They have to say what they actually believe, right? They have to say those quiet things out loud. So at least now you know what you're fighting. So it's a lot easier to win, right? Like it's easier to win the abortion argument when they're finally saying, yeah, we want to kill babies whenever we want to kill babies. Because that's really what it comes to. And science never was on our side. It's just now you can see the baby. I can image a child in the womb to see what they're going to look like before they come out. So you can't say it's just a lump of cells anymore. Like they're coming straight out with it that they want to tell your kids how they should think, feel, or act about sex. And it's always in a perverse way. What's interesting is it's never in a, hey, by the way, you probably should seek Jesus, get saved, marry the woman that follows Jesus, and have sex with her till the cows come home, right? That's never the direction they go with it, right? And they're just being honest with it now, right? They're telling you, they told you forever that white people bad and they want to get rid of you, and then the moment that you finally wake up and realize, like, hey, they aren't just trying to get rid of us, then it's bad. It's a bad. You're bad for that. And then they told you for years that they wanted to destroy the energy sector, and they finally are doing it. And they're surprised why things aren't working out, right? Like, beautiful thing is God has threshed out everything, and even the little wokety woke rhinos that are out there, the Dan Crenshaws of the world that really wanted you to get boosted and locked down, is now just telling you he doesn't give a rat's ass about your kids. He'd rather take care of his money laundering scheme out there in Ukraine. Like, clear who's who now. That's the beautiful thing about this situation, which gives me a lot of hope for the future, because it's a lot easier to win the battle when you know who you're fighting for once. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about it. And, let's rock and roll, boys. I'm excited about it.
And the other side of what you were saying, Red, is not only can you see what they're talking about and they're saying exactly what they want, you can now argue those points instead of arguing their theories, their thoughts. No, this is what they want. They're starting to implement it, and we're already starting to see the results of a lot of what they're trying to implement. And it's just disastrous. Suicides are on the up when they were decreasing for the longest time. Murder is on its way up, where it was decreasing for decades. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, did I mention the massive increase in human trafficking that's happened to the tune of hundreds fold?
That wouldn't be happening in Ukraine, would it? Oops, sorry. Did I say that aloud too soon?
Probably not too soon. Probably not soon enough. But yeah, so we have all these issues where they're finally saying exactly what they mean, what they want, and how they want to get it. And we can finally go, not going to happen. You want to know why? This, and this. Facts. It doesn't work. You're just sick. That's all there is to it. You're just sick.
100%. Yeah, man.
What is it that 95 to 96% are of everybody is heterosexual?
It's 8%. Well, 97 by their math, but yes.
Right. Let's go large on their behalf. Say 96% of people are
Sure.
heterosexual. They don't want to teach that. Why? Why wouldn't you want to teach 96% of people, which is super majority, about heterosexual sex? Instead, you have to go for the super minority because they're important.
It's not just that, because they know that children are malleable, and
Yeah.
teaching this stuff breeds more of that. It messes with their heads in their formative, development. And you get, when you do that, you get more of what you want, garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Pretty much.
Yep.
It's not just them catering to the minority, it's them trying to grow that minority.
Well, they have to. They're not breeding, so you gotta replace what you're losing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, bro, final thoughts, man. What we got today, boys? What we got?
You want to start us off, Matt?
I'll try. There's a lot. There is a ton. I mean, it just seems like we're getting attacked on every front. Everything. Gender identity in schools or kids, CRT, inflation, food shortages and formula shortages, war by proxy,
MCU.
Yeah, MCU.
Even on our entertainment.
Yep. Everything. It's everywhere. And it can feel disheartening. It can feel like we're not making any progress, but that's not entirely true. We are making progress, actually. We're winning battles. Roe v. Wade is going to be overturned, folks. That's a gigantic win. All right? The disinformation board got paused. Did you hear about that?
They just hired another guy today, so just throwing that out there.
What's
I
that?
just saw that on the wire. They hired a guy that historically has gone after Breitbart and Gateway Pundit, so
I'm sure, but my understanding is that they're paused indefinitely. Now,
yes.
that might just be long enough for them to get, Nina Jankowicz replaced. But hey, we memed the head of the disinformation board out of her position.
Scary Poppins.
That's not insignificant. All right? And basically she memed herself. But it wasn't hard. But that's a win. And of course they're going to rebrand and resubmit this awful idea, this authoritarian tyranny, and we'll have to fight it all over again. Yeah. We have to stay vigilant, but we have to also recognize the wins, because the wins are what gives you the fuel to stay vigilant. If you don't think you're ever winning, why would you keep going?
Yeah.
because then ultimately you start to feel like you'll never win. So acknowledge the wins, celebrate them for a short while, but don't let them lull you back to sleep. Let them be the fuel to keep fighting and to stay vigilant. We have to stay vigilant because they will, because their fervor for their God is intense, and it's never ending. I mean, they don't know Jesus, so they're dead inside. They're dead in sin, and sin is seductive, and so they, and it. I mean, the Bible says that they go looking to do evil. You know, it's their nature to go and look for evil to do. So they ain't gonna quit. They ain't gonna quit. It's like trying to ask a lion to stop eating meat. Have you seen those videos of the vegan dog owners who feed their dogs nothing but plants, and then they're like, and they love it. They love it. They won't even eat meat, and I'm gonna prove it to you. I've got what they normally eat, and I'm gonna open up this piece of meat, and then the dog immediately jumps on the meat, and they're like, no, don't eat it. You freaking moron. It's a dog's nature to eat meat, you idiot. And it's the nature of the lost to seek to do evil, and they're going to continue to do evil. And so that means we must stay vigilant. Always. Resist the devil and he shall flee from you. It doesn't say that he shall quit.
It's true.
That's my 2 cents.
I like it.
That 2 cents is worth a lot more than Biden's gallon of gas.
That's true. That is true.
So my final thought tonight is not only do we have to stay vigilant, but we have to stay the course. Whether or not we're winning or losing, we have to stay the course. Because the only way we can eventually overcome is by staying the course. By knowing what is right, by what our Bibles tell us what is right, and not giving way to the temptations and the sins of this world. It's so easy to sit back and go, well, it's okay. It's just this one thing. No, it's that one thing leads to the next thing, leads to the next thing. And before you know it, it's all gone to pot. We're already headed that way much faster than any of us ever thought it would happen. You can look at our money and see the progress that they've made in destroying the US dollar. Just stay the course. Stay in the fight. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. And hopefully we can drive through this locust that is the Democratic Party, because all they will do is consume everything and die at the end.
True that, dog. True that, dog. Final thoughts. I'm going to try to combine two at the same time. Here we go. Y'all ready for it?
Go.
The world is not God's Vietnam.
Say that
I'm going to
again.
repeat that slowly. The world is not God's Vietnam.
Okay.
God's going to win. He always does. Secondly, the way you win is truth. Truth always wins. And disclosure is at hand, ladies and gentlemen. When they have you focusing on Fox News talking points or left-wing talking points or anything else that, hey, let's drum up some more racism over here because this one white guy shot a bunch of black people, which is sad and tragic, while ignoring 21 people being shot in Minnesota, 33 over the weekend in Chicago, and then another 6 in California, which are all blue states. Don't even get caught up in that. The most intriguing thing that happened this week to me is I love watching quote unquote science melt, its face just melt. I literally think 2020 was the year that the science, not the science, but the scientism that worships the same god Moloch, just melted like the end of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it was just beautiful to watch. And no one's talking about this one, but this is very interesting to me. In China, they just found an entire ecosystem growing 633 feet below sea level, with a unique set of plants, animal life we've never seen before. And I'm very intrigued to see what's going on. And what's amazing to me, over and over again, we're told how much we know. And things like that remind us how little we know. And when the little we know, we focus in on CRT and whether boys or girls, or whether killing a baby is moral or not, or, stupid stuff that absolutely means nothing in the long run. But it is very interesting that we do this all the time, right? We have a picture of the world, and we have the layers and layers of molten lava of the world, and we teach that to our kids every single day. And we've only been 9 miles into the surface, and we have no clue what's going on in our world. Only 15% of our oceans are explored. We don't know anything. But guess what? I love that disclosure is coming very soon for a lot of things. I think that there's going to be a great awakening, and all of the golden calves that we've held up for a very long time are going to melt very quickly, like God does every single time. Because again, the world is not God's Vietnam. He's not struggling. He's not getting rattled. He's not getting cracked. He's not scared. He's going to burn a lot of idols real fast, and they're going to melt. And there's going to be a crack in the earth, and you're going to have to make a decision which side you're going to be on. And ladies and gentlemen, I pray that you are on the right side, which is the one that follows Jesus Christ as the way, the truth, and the life. So even though there's some craziness in the world, and the media is going to paint the picture that where the battle's being lost, everything's going crazy, and so on and so forth, the thing that stops the Red Army is families. And the thing that stops abortion is families. The thing that stops the madness is families. And families are an institution of God. God literally has the antidote for all this insanity and stupidity. And here's the beautiful thing. More and more the world's getting revealed to us as we speak. There is a great awakening happening in many different forms and many different fashions. And all the people that are telling you that they know the world and they know what's going on and they know what's happening couldn't find a ecosystem that was growing 633 feet below the surface where all the molten lava is. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited and ready to rock. I'm excited to see disclosure happen, and I'm excited to see God kick butt like he always does. So that's my final thoughts. Matty boy, send us home.
On that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram and Twitter. Just look for @pfoolishness if you want to follow us there. Thank you for watching. Donate in below if you want to help support us, or you can subscribe via Twitch. But more than that, you can help us by liking, sharing, subscribing, sharing, donating, sharing, and sharing.
Sure.
Word of mouth is our biggest friend. So tell your friends. Anyway, peace out. God bless. See you next time. Later.
Justified wars in Ukraine.